Step 1. Harvest your lettuce. Step 2. Dry your lettuce. I leave my lettuce to air dry in a shaded area. Don't pile your lettuce, otherwise it might rot before it dries. If you skip to step 3, which is boiling, I found that the lettuce still doesn't sink. To help speed up the drying, I put my lettuce in the freezer for a few minutes. I find it cuts my drying time in half. A bonus to drying your lettuce is that you can store it if you can't use it all at once. Step 3. Pour boiling water on your dried lettuce and weigh it down with something like a fork. Let the lettuce sit in the water until the hot water cools down. That should be enough time to waterlog the lettuce. So now that the water's cooled down, let's take a look and see how we did. If this was just lettuce that you had boiled and you remove the fork, it would float, but as you can see here, it doesn't. It stays at the bottom. Just to be sure, let's take it out and put it in a fresh container of cold distilled water and see how it does. Success. What you're looking at here is my Aquafarm setup. In future videos, I'm going to talk about some of the customizations I've done and some of the features and drawbacks of this design. But for this video, I'm going to draw your attention to the fact that the grow tray sits directly above the water tank. You can access the fish tank by removing the grow tray, but given my customizations, this would be a lot of work. So the only other option is to access the water tank through a small opening in the grow tray where my current automatic feeder is located. This automatic feeder is the only one I could find that would fit on the Aquafarm and work roughly as intended with minimal modification. The problem with it is that it overfeeds my betta fish. Now, to solve that problem, I've had to introduce detritivores like snails and shrimp to deal with the extra food that sinks to the bottom. In addition to cleaning up the excess food left over from the feeder, the shrimp and snails will also eat bits of lettuce. From time to time, leaves of lettuce grow out on odd angles. I find cutting them off makes the Aquafarm easier to manage. Now, I could just compost or throw out the bits of lettuce, but I thought that putting the lettuce into the tank would add to the snails and shrimp's diet, as well as recycle some of the nutrients in the tank. Unfortunately, the detritivores tend to bite off chunks of lettuce, and if it's not waterlogged and sinks to the bottom, little pieces float away and are trapped on the surface of the water because it's really difficult to fish them out through the little opening at the top of the Aquafarm. And now you know why I go through so much trouble to sink my lettuce.